Okay, 21 says the absolute value of 4b minus 4 plus 3 minus b squared plus 2b cubed, and b is 2. So we have the absolute value of 4 times 2 minus 4 plus 3 minus 2 squared plus 2 times 2 cubed. Okay, did I copy that just like it looks up there? Yes. Work the exponents first. So this is absolute value. I'm going to go ahead and do 8 minus 4 here, plus 3 minus 4, plus 2 times 8. 8 minus 4 is 4. Take its absolute value. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. And you're going to add 16. So 4 plus 1 plus 16 is 21. Answer to number 21. You can just put that in your calculator. Combining like terms, number 22. Combine the C's, that's going to give you 12C. Combine the D's, it's going to give you negative 7D. 23, you're going to have to distribute first. This is 23. It says 12y minus 9 plus 7y. So that is 19y minus 9. 24, we can work it right here, we got plenty of room. Find the perimeter. You're just adding up all the sides. So I'm going to start here with 4x plus x plus y plus 2x plus y plus 2x plus x. Collect all your like terms. Collect all your x's. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10x, there's a y and there's a y, plus 2y. Questions on that one? 25 says solve the equation, and 25 says 3y plus 20 equals 3 plus 2y. So we need to solve. We're going to start by subtracting 2y from each side. So y plus 20 equals 3. Subtract 20. Y is negative 17. You can test that. You can check your work by plugging that back in. 3 times negative 17 plus 20 is negative 31. Now put it in on the other side. See if it turns out to be the same thing. 3 plus 2 times negative 17. And that also is negative 31. That way you know that it's the right answer. 26 says 3 times the absolute value of 3x plus 4 minus 7 equals 5. Well, what you have to do is you have to isolate the absolute value before you split this into two problems. So we're going to start by adding 7. So this says 3 times the absolute value of 3x plus 4 equals 12. Divide by 3. Absolute value of 3x plus 4 equals 4. So then you split it into two problems, because the stuff under my finger can either equal 4 or it could be negative 4. So 3x plus 4 is 4, or 3x plus 4 is negative 4. We get 3x equals 0. Divide by 0, x is 0. Divide by 3, not 0, can't do that. Subtract 4. 3x is negative 8. Divide by 3, x is negative 8/3. So those are your two answers. Any questions there? You could change this to negative 2 and 2/3 if you wanted to. 27 says to solve for t, it says s equals 5r squared t. Solve for t. So you want to, that needs to be isolated. Everything else needs to go. Well, everything else is being multiplied by that, so you can divide both sides by 5r squared. So s over 5r squared equals t. 28 says the formula for the time that a traffic light remains yellow is t equals 1/8 of a second plus 1. T is time, s is speed. No, not 1/8 of a second. That's 1/8 of the speed. T is time, s is speed. Solve for s. So we've got to isolate the s. We're going to have to get rid of the 1. So I'm going to subtract it from each side. T minus 1 equals 1/8 s. I'm still trying to isolate the s. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 8. These will cancel. S will equal 8 times t minus 1. Then the question says, what is the speed limit at a traffic light that remains yellow for 4.5 seconds? So when they tell you 4.5 seconds, that goes in place of t. So 8 times 4.5 minus 1. So 8 times 3.5 is 28. So I get 28 miles per hour for my speed limit. 29. The sides of a triangle are in the ratio 3, 4, 5. What's the length of each side if the perimeter is 90? So when you get a ratio problem, you just write those ratios with an x beside them. 3x plus 4x plus 5x. That's the side lengths of the triangle, and it's going to add up to be 90. So here you'd have a triangle, and we don't know what these are, but this is 3x, and this is 4x, and this is 5x. It might be 30, 40, and 50, okay? It might be 6, 8, and 10, but it's in the same, it's proportional. So add these up. 3 and 4 makes 7, and 5 makes 12, so 12x is 90. Divide by 12. X is, what do you get for x here? (7.5). Now they want you to find the lengths of the sides, so you got to plug this back in. 3 times 7.5, 4 times 7.5, and 5 times 7.5. So 7.5 times 3 is 22.5. 7.5 times 4 is 30. And 7.5 times 5 is 37.5. Those are the answers for that question. Number 30, 2 cars leave Denver at the same time and travel in opposite directions. One's going this way, one's going that way. One car travels 10 miles per hour faster than the other car. They are 500 miles apart in 5 hours. How fast is each car going? Distance is equal to rate times time. And we're going to set up a chart. Car 1, car 2. Rate, time, distance. Do you know the rate of either car? Did they tell me how fast either car is going? No. So I'm going to let car 1 go X. Did they tell you a relationship between the speed of one car and the speed of the other car? It says one car is 10 faster than the other. So if that's X, this one's X plus 10. Do you know the length of time the cars travel? 5 hours. 5 hours. Says that in the story. Each car travels for 5 hours. If you multiply the rate times the time, you will get the distance. So X times 5 is 5X. X plus 10 times 5 is 5 times x plus 10. This is how far this car went. This car went 5x. This car went 5 times x plus 10. Together, at the end of 5 hours, how far apart are they? They're 500 miles apart. So this distance plus this distance is equal to 500. So 5x plus 5 times x plus 10 is equal to 500. And then you solve your equation. 5x plus 5x plus 50 is 500. 10x plus 50 is 500. 10x equals 450. Divide by 10. X is 45. So this car is going 45. How fast is the other one going? 55. Okay. Questions on number 30. 31 says 2 plus 2k is less than or equal to 8. So you need to solve this equation for k. So subtract 2 from each side. 2k is less than or equal to 6. Divide by 2. K is less than or equal to 3. Graph the solution sets. There's 3, there's 2, there's 4. It's a closed circle because we have an underscore because it says less than or equal to, and it's shaded to the left. 32 says 2 times 4y minus 5 is less than negative 10. So how do we start this one? What are we going to do first? Distribute. So we distribute here, we get 8y minus 10 is less than negative 10. Add this 10. 8y is less than 0. Divide by 8. Y is less than 0. There's 0, there's 1, there's negative 1. Open circle, shading to the left. Okay. Questions so far? 33. Says 4x minus 5 is less than negative 17, or 5x plus 6 is greater than 31. So you have 2 of these to solve, and then you got to put them on a number line, and you'll probably have 2 sections of the graph that's shaded. So we start with this one, and we add 5. So I get 4x is less than negative 12. Divide by 4. X is less than negative 3. And then we move over, we solve the second one. We subtract 6 from each side. 5x is greater than 25. Divide by 5. X is greater than 5. So on my number line, I've got negative 3 and the numbers that are around it. Oh, probably need a 6 on there too. Okay, so at negative 3, what kind of circle do I need? Open. And I want the x's that are smaller than negative 3, so I need to shade to the left. At 5, I want an open circle, and I want the x's larger, so I shade to the right. So that is your answer for number 33. 34. Absolute value of 2x plus 10 is less than 26. What do we do here? You make 2 problems. The first one's identical to that problem, except you remove absolute value bars. The arrow points to the left, so you use the word and. And your second equation is 2x plus 10, change the direction and change the number to a negative. Now you're ready to solve. First one, subtract 10. 2x is less than 16. Divide by 2. X is less than 8. Subtract 10 over here. 2x is greater than negative 36. Divide by 2. X is greater than negative 18. Remember, it's the word and in there. On the number line, there's 0. Somewhere over here is 8. Somewhere over here is negative 18. What kind of circle do you need on the 8? Open. X is less than 8, so you're going to shade on this side. I'm going to leave that alone and go over here and work the 18 part. What kind of circle do you need on the negative 18? And it says X is greater than, so it's shaded here. So this one's shaded in the middle. 35. Lynn and Dawn tossed a coin 60 times. They got heads 33 times. What is the experimental probability of tossing heads using these results? 33 out of 60, which reduces to 11 out of 20. 36 says the spinner is numbered from 1 through 10, with each number equally likely to occur. What is the probability of obtaining a number less than 2? What numbers are less than 2? 1. 2 is not less than 2. It didn't say less than or equal to, it said less than. So 1's an option. Or greater than 7. What numbers are greater than 7? 8, 9, and 10. So you got 4 choices out of 10 possibilities, which is 2/5. 2 out of 5. Okay. You good on that? The dart problem. If a dart hits the target at random, what is the probability it will land in the shaded region? You need to find the area of the shaded circle over the area of the entire circle. So write area of shaded circle over area of entire circle. How do you find the area of a circle? Pi r squared. Okay, so this is pi times, what's the radius of the shaded circle? 3. Over pi times the radius of the larger circle, which is 12. So when I work the top, I get 9 pi. When I work the bottom, I get 144 pi. If you have the same thing in the top and the bottom of a fraction, they cancel out, right? Y'all agree with me? So those pi's are going to cancel. Now 9 over 144, will it reduce? 9 over 144 and hit math, enter. 1/16. You've got 1 out of 16 chances of hitting that. Like if you throw that dart 16 times, the odds are once it's going to land in the shaded region. 38. Name the property used. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be an X, and that was a typo. So let me show you what we have here. Instead of me writing it down, let me show you. What property did they use here? They used the distributive property. They did this step right there. That was the distributive property. Okay? What did they do different from this line to this line? They switched the order. They did not associate different things together. They just moved a couple of things around. That's the commutative property of addition. What's different from this line to this line? They associated different things, so that's the associative property of addition. What's different from this line to this line? Now y'all look at that real close. They undistributed. It's still the distributive property, they just did it backwards. Okay? They just did it backwards. The next one, they added 6 and 4 and got 10. They just did addition. What'd they do next? They switched places with x and 10. That's just moving things around. That's the commutative property of multiplication. And then what did they do? They wrote 10x first. So this is now the commutative property of addition. Okay? Questions on that? None of that's hard. It's not something that we do a lot, but none of it's difficult. Okay, 39. It says solve the equation. 4x plus 3 equals 9 plus 2x. What do we do on this one? You got to make two problems. The stuff under my finger is either equal to that, or it's equal to the opposite of that. But be sure you put all of that in the parentheses, okay? So 4x plus 3 here and 4x plus 3 here. Okay, what do we do first? Okay. So 2x plus 3 is 9. 2x is 6. X is 3. What do we do first on the other problem? Got to distribute that negative. 4x plus 3 equals negative 9 minus 2x. Add the 2x to each side. 6x plus 3 is negative 9. 6x is negative 12. X is negative 2. So my answers are 3 and negative 2. Now, do they both work? Do they both work? You got to plug them back in and check and see. So I'm going to check the first one. I'm going to say absolute value of 4 times 3 plus 3. That's 15. Now I'm going to check the other side. 9 plus 2 times 3 is also 15. That one works. I'm going to check this one. Absolute value of 4 times negative 2 plus 3 is 5. I'm going to check this side right here. 9 plus 2 times negative 2 is also 5. Both of those work. Sometimes when you change to a negative and there's a variable involved, you'll get an extraneous root, so be careful. Number 40. Suppose 10 out of 25 students have dogs for pets. What's the theoretical probability that a student will have a dog for a pet? 10 out of 25, which reduces to 2/5. Use your results and predict how many dog-owning students you can expect among the 200 students in your grade. 2/5 is equal to how many out of 200? So what do we do here? Oh, sorry. 80. 5 times 40 gets you 200. 2 times 40 gets you 80. Or you can cross multiply. 400 equals 5x. Divide. You're going to get 80. 41. What is the maximum number of 3.5 to 5 minute songs that can fill a 120-minute CD? What's the minimum number? Write your answer as a compound inequality. What do you think about that problem?
Divide 120 by 5, but you're going for the smallest number.
Okay, what do you get there? I got 24. Okay, that's the least number of songs if every song was the maximum length, right? What's the other option?
3.5. 120 divided by 3.5.
And 120 divided by 3.5 is 34.2, which we're going to say 34 songs. That's the maximum number of songs because it's the shortest song. 42. Describe the difference in the graph of the absolute value of x is less than a and the absolute value of x is greater than a. What do these graphs look like? This one points to the what? This one points to the left. What word are you going to use in there if it points to the left? And? And what kind of graphs do we have? And have shading in the middle, right? Which direction does this point? This points to the right. What kind of word do you use when it points to the right? Or, and the graph usually, well, it is, to the outside. Okay? 43. Make 3 graphs showing the solutions of the inequalities. Okay? Y'all ready for this one? Here are the answers to 43. The first one said x is greater than -1, open circle, shading to the right. The second one said x is less than or equal to 4, closed circle, shading to the left. And the last one said x is greater than or equal to 1. Then it said write a compound inequality that describes all the numbers which are solutions to both inequalities. Well, what would solve all of this? Let's put it all on one number line. The numbers, okay. If I start here with 5, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I need 3 colors, pink, blue, and green. Okay, I'm going to graph the first one in green. So I need what kind of circle on -1? And shading to the right. And then x is less than or equal to 4, so I need a colored circle and shading to the left, right? Now, do y'all see an area that's covered by both pink and green? Okay. We're going to put one more up there, and the part that's covered by all 3 is what I'm looking for. So the last one says x is greater than or equal to 1, so what kind of circle do I put on 1? Closed. And shading to the right. So which part of the graph is covered by blue, pink, and green? From 1 to 4. And both of them had colored in dots, right? That's why I have underscores. 1 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 4. When you put it on the number line and you color code it, it makes it a whole lot easier. Okay, questions here?